Doom. The great doom is coming.
I just watched Batman: The Doom That Came to Gotham, the most recent DC animated movie, and it is quite possibly, probably the weirdest Batman movie I've ever seen. Maybe one of the weirdest DC animated movies as a whole that I've seen. I don't know how much I can really say without spoiling the movie for anyone that hasn't seen it or anyone that knows nothing about the comics. I went into this completely blind. I had no former exposure to the comic. I didn't even know that the comic existed until this movie was announced, if I'm being honest. But this is almost like an Elseworld story of Batman Year One. It begins with Bruce returning to Gotham to become the Batman. But of course, in the story, supernatural elements are at the forefront, which I've never been a huge supernatural guy. I can get into certain aspects of it, but there are other aspects that I just don't really enjoy. Like, for example, demons and such. I can get into that if they're incorporated into the story well enough. When it comes to interdimensional beings, or what they label in this film as exterior gods, or whatever it was, it's a bit outside of my realm. I don't really get it, or the fascination with it. As far as the Batman stuff goes in this movie, though, I enjoyed Batman for the most part. I thought at moments he had a lot of heart. I enjoy the moments that are focusing on him coming to grips with this being the reality of things, that these monsters he's been fighting, they actually exist, because of course Batman is just a guy. So he's in disbelief seeing all these things deemed as unrealistic, improbable, or even impossible to exist in our world. And I really enjoy how Thomas Wayne and the death of the Waynes factors into this movie. I feel that a film like this is really the only way you can get away with exploring the death of the Waynes in such detail and flashing back to that night, because it's a completely different spin on the murder. And other than the trigger man who pulled the trigger to kill Thomas and Martha Wayne, there's not a big difference in the murder itself, just the circumstances surrounding it. Which I won't get too into that, but of course it factors into the entire story. I enjoy the incorporation of a lot of characters in this film. Oliver Queen, Jim Gordon, Oracle, Barbara Gordon. Those are the three that I think were the best alongside Batman. I think Talia was handled pretty well. I didn't really love Ra's. I wish Harvey had a bit more to do. Alfred is always good. I enjoy that the Robins were there. Penguin was also a pretty big part of this story. What happens to some of these characters in the past or in the present is pretty freaking terrifying. And I don't know much else to say without getting into spoiler territory, so I'm gonna stop it there. Gonna go ahead and give Batman: The Doom That Came to Gotham a letter grade, and that is going to be a C+. I feel like that's the range I've landed in with a lot of DC animated movies as of late, and it kinda sucks. I'm okay with it for this one though, because going in, I knew this story probably wasn't going to be completely my cup of tea, and it's not. But if you are more into the supernatural side of DC than I am, you may really love this movie. You might dig it. So if you are into the supernatural, I would definitely recommend you check out this movie. If you aren't, I would still recommend it if you're a Batman fan. You know, it's worth watching at least one time. It's definitely a Batman experience that I never had before this film. So, if you have seen The Doom That Came into Gotham, let me know what you think about it down in the comments below, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.